no expert in the technology world.
You're better than I am.
That's not hard to do.
All right, let's start this off. Hey, everyone, I'm Dan with OBS Solutions. Sitting across from me
As John with Carrot Customs,
we are partners in crime in our lovely Derpy podcast, if you will.
the Truckery podcast.
That's right. And today's topics, we don't know. We're just going to send it. We got some listener questions. I had a topic, but we might hold off on another one for that, like the truck scene on, I was talking about second-gen Dodges.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do like
Right?
that topic.
That's a good topic, right?
Yeah. No, and I definitely think we need to get into that.
And Kenny had some stuff that listeners sent us through Instagram as well.
I've got all that pulled up.
Roger that. Okay. If you haven't listened to our podcast, is the first time listening to our shit show, we usually just we're just two guys just bullshitting about trucks. We have a good time, and we always finish it off with a marketplace moment where we beat the shit out of marketplace.
Yeah.
So, and marketplace this time, I'm curious. Should we just stick to Oregon?
Well, let's see what the listeners have to say.
All right. Let's kick this off. Let's hit some questions and see what people want to talk about here. So.
We got a lot of good feedback on the episode with Brad.
Okay.
Which was the 7.3 Power Stroke performance and tech stuff.
You almost need to slow him down on that podcast. He's going like 1,000,000 miles an hour, and you're like, dude, what did he just say? What did Brad just say?
Yeah. I had a customer call actually and was talking about, he's like, oh yeah, and I listened to your podcast with Brad. He's like, way more information than I ever thought I would need, but it was really good. And we've gotten a lot of good feedback about that. I mean, that guy can go so deep on that, topic. Information and topic. Right. It's just wild. But
no, it was awesome. And Brad was he's there's no arrogance to him when it comes to that stuff, which is awesome.
No.
Some of the diesel, oh, this is what works. I know everything. You have to deal with those personalities in that world sometimes that Kenny and I get so overwhelmed with, and just like, dude, shut the hell up. There's so many ways to skin a cat. Just hey, always look at the other side of the things. And Brad was pretty transparent on what worked and what's worked for him and what didn't work, and so that was pretty cool. So
yeah, it was neat.
All right, so first one, John, go for it.
This is from Andy Carpenter. He said, it would be cool to hear each of you break down your current arsenal of vehicles. I know you both have several OBS trucks as well as some non-Ford truck stuff.
Oh, okay. John, you go first. You got a good arsenal.
Okay. We'll start with, I've got a 1982, might be 82 or 83, Toyota truck. I think
first gen, right? Would that be considered the first gen?
I think
Toyota
it's
stuff?
a first gen, yeah. 2-wheel drive, long bed, 3/4 ton.
I love the fact that the first gen. Okay, so we're in this part of this world where anything truck right now is a big deal. It seems like, and Toyota first gens are a hot button topic right now.
Oh yeah, they have been for a long time,
I feel like
for a while, but they're getting hotter again.
Yeah, really spicy.
Yeah,
and you see them, and it used to be, I don't know, 8 to 10 years ago, you're like, oh yeah, it's an 85 Toyota. Yay, who cares?
Yeah, cool.
Now you're like, holy crap, check out that first. I mean, even Shane and I will like be driving through like Sweet Home Lebanon area where you can see them out there a lot, and they'll be like on 38s and, lifted, and they're all fenders cut and they're out there wheeling them. And you're like, oh, I got to have one.
I know and we're even going to have a guy on in a couple episodes, I think, that has a first gen 4Runner.
First gen 4Runners are the shit,
dude. They're sweet. We can get into
that
later.
Colin's gonna be editing this, and he hates Toyotas, right? He's like,
and we're starting off with Toyotas. I guess then we'll stick with the. No, I won't stick with the Toyotas. Next, I have a 2000 Excursion. That's a recent one.
Yes,
I've only driven it once.
That's a hot button topic, that purchase. That's all right.
Yep.
That's a good one though.
Yeah. No, that one's good. And once again, I can't thank Jesse and Tony enough for picking that up for me.
Two solid humans.
Oh man, the best guys. Yeah, so that's more just like a product development truck or rig, not truck. I hate it when people call SUVs trucks.
Oh, yeah. But I don't know. What would you call like the Trends Toyota? Is it a truck or is it SUV?
It's an SUV, but it's on a Tacoma chassis. So I guess it's like the Excursion is a Super Duty, but yeah, that's product development,
Let,
and I don't know what we're gonna do with it.
let,
Really.
us know, listeners. Do we call an excursion a truck, or what do you call it? Do you call a Suburban a truck? That's another good one.
That's a good
A
question.
Tahoe a truck? And a Ford Expedition, is that a truck?
Well, I guess like what really kind of put me off to this is my brother-in-law would always, he lives in Southern California, and that's not a bad thing at all. My whole family is from Southern California.
Oh shit, not
But,
natives. God damn it.
He's always like, "Oh yeah, we'll take my truck," and that was like the Lexus version of a Land Cruiser or something.
That's different.
And
This
I'm
is
like,
totally different.
That's like whenever somebody says, "Yes, I have a truck," I'm thinking, "Sweet, we can throw stuff in the bed."
And then you get outside, it's a Lexus.
Or you get out and it's like some SUV. I'm like, that's not a truck. You can't load a dirt bike in the back of it. You know, like.
But you don't want to say SUVs kind of doesn't roll off the tongue the same way.
Right.
So you need a different definition for it.
My SUV. I don't know.
Moving on, sorry.
Then I've got a 94 F350 crew cab, currently a long bed. I think it's going to become a short bed, but that's the truck that's got all of our suspension in it. It's getting the Duramax, which is almost, as soon as the Excursion's out of the shop, the Duramax is going in with an Allison.
Explain to the people what happened to the 7.3 that was in it, John. If you haven't heard about this, John likes to just send it.
Well, okay, yes, kind of. Initially, that truck started out with a 460. I just bought it because it was like such a good deal. Like, well, can't pass that up.
Sure.
So it sat on the side of the shop for a long time, and the plan was to put some other engine in it. So I pulled the 460 and drivetrain, or 460 tranny transfer case, all that. Sold it, and then I got another really good deal on supposedly 100,000 mile 7.3 rolling, project truck, or not really project truck, but I think it had been rolled or something had happened. But everything was good in it, supposedly. So I wanted to do the Duramax in my 94. I'm like, I don't want to spend the money on that right now. And I've got this supposedly good 7.3 and transmission and everything. Let's just swap that in. So decided to do that like a month before the truck show.
That was a good time. I remember you.
Yeah. So we did that and had already done all the suspension work and everything. The truck looked really good. I would have been happy to keep it a Power Stroke. But got it running and man, it smoked a lot. I'm like, it's been sitting since 2000. So 25 years, or by then I guess it was 23, 24 years. I'm like, it just needs to clear up. And
I'll drive it over the pass. Not a big deal.
I don't really have time to really mess with it. So I drove it around town a little bit. And it didn't really clear up, but it's like, well, it still kind of runs okay. So whatever. So we drove it to the truck show, and you could have followed, it was like sending smoke signals, not black, like white smoke signals the whole way. And apparently quite nauseating to drive behind.
You were killing bugs and shit along the way, going over the pass.
Yeah. Dude. And so we get to the truck show. It made it. I'm like, sweet. At least this thing's here. And we did all the stuff to the 7.3, not like big power stuff. Just maintenance stuff. Cleaned it up really good. And then coming home, I promise I was just cruising. I didn't beat on this at all because I wasn't very confident in it. And coming up the pass right before the Detroit Dam, following a minivan going like 60, and all of a sudden it just goes bang and clack, 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 clack. And you instantly knew, like, uh-oh. There was not like, oh, maybe I should just pull over so I don't hurt this thing. You knew, nope, it's torched. Let's keep going as far as we can because we can't pull off here. So I just kept my foot in it.
Because if you ever been to that part of the highway up going over the pass by Detroit, it's real. There's no shoulder. You're up by the dam. You have a cliff on one side of you.
Yeah.
There's a rock face on the other side. There's no place to pull off.
Yeah, and it's one lane both directions.
And traffic's usually pretty busy there, so you don't want to be that jerk that stacks everyone up.
Yeah. So it was one of, normally if you hear you know that feeling when you hear a sound and you're like, ooh, I should probably pull over soon just to make sure.
You're like,
Like
eh.
it was a guaranteed, like, nope, we're done. Like
You knew it.
there's no saving anything. So let's just try to get somewhere where we're not going to, you know, cause a major pileup. So drove it another like quarter mile with a hole in both sides of the block.
How big was that hole in the block? I never saw. I've
Oh,
never
it
seen.
was, you could see daylight all the way through
Isn't that
from one
impressive? It
side
kept
to
on
the
running.
other.
It's
Yeah.
so.
It ran until it ran out of oil.
It'd be awesome to have a GoPro there when it did that.
Oh,
It'd be
yeah.
so cool to see that happen.
Yeah.
Like blow apart and then like holes on the side and just the you know, inside there is just like sparks and all kinds of shit going on.
It would be so crazy to see. I wish, I mean, I walked back down the road when we went to, because we had to leave it
Yeah.
in the parking area at the dam. And because we had multiple rigs with us. So drove all the way back to Bend, grabbed Jack's Super Duty and his equipment trailer, drove back up and picked it up. And I walked back down to where it happened and found a chunk of the block on the ground. It sits on my desk now. So that's when I decided, all right, well,
Can you
now
take
it's getting
that-
the Duramax.
Can you take that chunk and like I'm gonna find that chunk and I'm gonna write with a Sharpie like Devin says to test drive multiple times or something like that.
Yeah.
Just keep it there. Then next time I have a fuck up, I'm gonna make John just says send it whatever piece I have. Like,
Exactly.
back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth. I'll
Like,
give it to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, now it's getting the Duramax and it's been sitting, but that's kind of like a pet project. We're gonna make the development parts so that if people want to buy them, they can. I'm not expecting that market to be huge.
You might be surprised.
Yeah, I hope I am. I really am, because or I really do, because it's been the most expensive like project I've ever done, and if I could even recoup any of the funds from it.
But what's impressive is how well that Duramax sits in the frame rails of
Oh, dude.
of an OBS.
It fits better than a 7.3.
Well, it almost fits better than a Cummins in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
No firewall adjusting.
which is awesome. Actually.
Allison fits perfectly.
It's scary. Like
yes.
and AC's on the correct side. I think we talked about this before. It's
all of it's correct except the air intake.
yeah.
But I think I can build. I got like a flange for the turbo, and I'm 90% sure I can build the intake to go to the factory location, which I'm gonna run an SMB intake
Airbox.
that I already have. Yeah, and if that's the case, then like everything is in the right location.
And let's be clear, it's an Isuzu engine. All right. Let's not freak out people.
Yeah, it's not an LS.
No, it's not an LS. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's a Chevy engine. It does have Chevy heads though. They are developed by Chevrolet, but the main part of a Duramax is Isuzu. So don't freak out. All right. Like,
Yeah.
I already hear the people coming out with torches and pitchforks right now, but we don't care because we'll stuff
really
a Cummins
don't.
in it. We don't care at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's
So moving on. Sorry.
Moving on. Then I have a 97 crew cab short bed F250 460 ZF5 truck that is actually like a decent truck. It's pretty dang clean overall. It needs a bit of love because all we've done is suspension work on it.
That was your TTB truck.
That's the TTB truck.
Yeah. And you've taken that thing out and rallied it for product testing.
My
and
gosh,
there's
yeah.
a video if you're new to John's website, and it's on your website, if I'm not mistaken. Doesn't it show that truck just rallying a bunch of whoops, or is that a different one?
That might be that truck.
Yeah.
And it's all over our YouTube channel, and it really needs love, like door hinge pins and some
maintenance
seals.
stuff.
It needs the maintenance stuff
Right.
that it's never gotten because it's been a product development truck like the whole time. But at the same time, it's crazy. I will take that thing out in the woods, like in the snow, bounce it off the limiter, don't care, whatever. Don't do hardly any maintenance to it. I just change the oil once every year.
You did have a development issue
Yeah.
with rallying it in the snow.
Yeah. I got a little bit too...
Developing.
I beat it a little too hard, and that's since fixed. But yeah, you can go out and hammer on that thing, and then the next day hook it up to the boat, or and go 4 hours to Shasta over multiple mountain passes,
How
and
awesome
it does fine.
are these platforms? That's what I'm saying. Like people like bag on like 460 trucks or TTB trucks or whatever, like, oh my gosh, it's an old Ford. Like they fucking keep going. They're
Yeah.
awesome.
They just keep running.
Yeah.
And that truck, like, the check engine light comes on every once in a while, but it's brief.
It's for looks.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just a
like,
reminder.
well, that bulb hasn't burnt out. So, it just keeps going. I towed my skid steer in the dump trailer with it to Prineville like 2 times in a week.
Now, is that a mass air truck?
No,
No, it's not EEC system.
it's an old EEC system.
Then definitely ignore the check engine light.
Yeah, I'm like, how am I even going to figure it out? So,
Oh, those are a pain in the ass.
and yeah, that truck, sounds like now the plan has been to do the 7.3 Godzilla. So hopefully you have that stuff ready by then.
We'll see.
But I want to do, Godzilla 10 speed. It's so hard to find time to work on your own vehicles.
Yeah.
And for now, it's on the back burner. But then the last vehicle we have, which is, oh no, not the last one. My car that I drive like majority of the time is a 2003 Audi A4 wagon. If you're into German cars, it's an Avant.
Oh, damn. I didn't know that.
Really?
No, I didn't know it was an Avant.
Avant. Yeah.
Is that like an XLT package?
No, that's
Lariat?
wagon versus
okay, got it.
sedan.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah. So that car has almost 300,000 miles.
And you beat the shit out of it.
I do not.
Yes, you do. You put pallets of material in the back of that
Oh,
thing.
sure. Yeah.
Like grossly overload it going over the pass with parts and pieces.
Yeah, I've had 1,200 pounds of steel in the back of it. I use it as a little pickup truck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting.
I swapped.
You guys, are we hearing a pattern here? Is anyone hearing a pattern?
I use my stuff. But I also like
we're so funny because we're on the different ends of the spectrum, you and I.
Yeah.
You realize that? Like you take it to the extreme one way, I take it the other way.
Yeah, 100. I mean, yeah.
There's no one in the middle right here.
Not a ton.
No.
But that car, I pulled the original 1.8T out, gas motor, and put a 1.9 ALH TDI, which is the engine code, out of a Volkswagen. And put, a TDI 5th gear in the transmission so that like highway, you can cruise it I've cruised it way too fast before and it has no issues, like.
So wait a minute, back up. It was it's a 5-speed or 4-speed?
5-speed.
But it wasn't before.
No, it was before.
You just put a taller gear in it.
Just put a taller 5th gear
Got it.
in.
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking, what? Okay. That makes sense.
So that and it's actually pretty fun because 1st through 4th, you have all the torque, it's got like maxed out tune, big injectors, big turbo, head studs, which big. I mean, it's not that big, but it's big for a 1.9 liter.
Right.
And
it looks cool. It sits really good.
Yeah,
it's lowered.
No, it's not.
It's not.
That's just the sport suspension.
It looks good because it's like not slammed, but it's not like the tire wheel gap is like.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
When you brought up snowboarding, Shane's like, I really like that car.
I do too.
And I'm like, it looks pretty, and it's all-wheel drive, right?
It's all-wheel drive. That was the whole goal. Was I wanted a TDI because you get insane mileage, and all-wheel drive because we live in the snow.
Right.
And it does. I've got like 50,000 miles on that swap, basically trouble-free. And it bolts right in. It bolts up to the Audi transmission.
Okay.
The 1.8T motor mounts bolt to the 1.9 block because they're the same physical exterior. And then you can go in, and I coded is what they say, which doesn't involve like writing code. It just involves going in and telling each computer in the car that now it's a 4-cylinder turbo diesel and not a 4-cylinder turbo gas engine.
Was that through what kind of device did you use to do that?
It's called VCDS, like OBD2. You just plug it in. And I think the dealer term is VAGCOM, VAGCOM.
It's a terrible name, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no kidding. And you can just go in to it because Audi, Volkswagen, they're the same. Like you look at a lot of Volkswagen parts, they have the 4 rings on them, or Audi parts have the VW emblem. Like they're all the same.
Right.
So yeah, you just go in, and you could get that car with basically that same engine and transmission and everything in Europe from the factory.
But you couldn't hear in the States.
Now,
I didn't know this about that car.
yeah. So you just go in and tell the ECU, or not the ECU, but like the instrument cluster, tell everything what it currently has in it. And now, like, you plug in and it says it's an Audi A4 1.9 TDI.
That's awesome.
It all like, there's no check engine light. There's no, all the tack works. Everything works.
And you can obviously scan it through the OBD2 port if you
yeah,
had to.
You can, traction control still works.
Okay, it makes me like Audis a little bit more
It
now.
pulls power. Like, if you try and like goose it,
Yeah.
or, you know, go out and do donuts, like, it'll pull power unless you turn the traction control off.
No shit.
And it'll, like, all the ABS, yeah, everything works.
Will you keep that car forever then?
It's the body and the rest of the drive. You know, the body is starting to really, and interior's showing nearly 300,000 miles.
But that'd be a big deal around here, that car.
Oh yeah,
if you were to throw it on the marketplace around this area, it'd be gone in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and what I like about it is, like, taking it to the mountain. If somebody leans their snowboard against it and it falls and scratches the side,
you're like,
I don't care.
And it probably goes awesome in the snow, sitting as low as it is, and
we went up last weekend and there was 20 inches of new snow just from the day before and that night, and rode for, you know, like 3/4 of the day, and there was 6 to 8 inches of snow on the car. The car was buried. Fire it up, pull right out, and like no issues at all.
Wow.
So that's like my daily. It gets 38 miles a gallon, and that's with an extra thick head gasket. So I'm going to change that to get a better, you know, compression ratio, and it should get about 44, 45.
You don't see that anymore in a lot of cars nowadays.
No.
And the cool factor and fun factor.
Yeah, it's just high. It's not super fast, but it's torquey, and having the gas engine gear ratios from first to fourth, it's quick. And then fourth to fifth, it's like, wah, wah. You know, like, it's quite the jump. But then the last thing is we finally got a new car for Trin. It's the first time I've ever bought a new car.
And it's awesome.
Never had a car payment before until now, but we got a 2025 Land Cruiser, bottom of the barrel, 1958.
Dude, the bottom of the barrel is still nicer than what an XL anything or a plain Jane anything is that back in the day. Like, what, heated and cooled seats?
Just heated seats, cloth.
Yeah, but heated steering wheel, right?
Heated steering wheel.
And it is like good interior. It's not cheesy. It's not like vinyl or anything.
No, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, I always think it's a joke when they go, "Oh yeah, it's just the bottom of the barrel." I'm like, dude, the bottom of the barrel of that Toyota Land Cruiser is like legit higher end than most shit.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, it really, you know, there are things that it could have come with a bigger screen, or
God, who cares?
More buttons for different things,
more shit to break.
Yeah, so I'm stoked on it. It's nice to have a vehicle that I don't feel like I have to, like, put on the lift and go through everything before, like, driving from here to Orange County. Not that we've done that yet, but with that car. But yeah, it's
a truck, remember?
with that truck. That is my current arsenal. I've got like 2 parts trucks, but those are just not worth even talking about.
Do you even like add those into the arsenal of vehicles you own, the parts trucks? I don't think you do. If it's parts trucks and you're robbing parts off of them, you don't put them in that category.
No.
At all. Not at all.
I wouldn't.
No. So.
What about you?
I'm on a different spectrum of John. My shit usually stays in the shop and never gets used. So I'm like a different spectrum, but I have a lot of trucks. Like, no cars. I hate cars. Not that, I mean, that's just me. I'm not a car guy, but everything we own is a truck, basically, or an SUV. Sorry. Like, I don't know what our definition these days are anymore, right?
I want somebody to comment on that. Like,
right. Like, what do you...
We need to make that the poll. I'm going to make a note of that.
Yeah,
are SUVs considered trucks?
Right. And what's the okay, I got one for you. If it's a unibody SUV, then it's an SUV. If it's got a chassis, if it's got a frame, it's is that a truck then? If it's got a frame, there's the poll right there. What, I mean, like, give us a definition, people, or do we have a new terminology we need to come up with?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So I currently I have a lot of OBS Fords. I don't know how many. So I've
go through them all. I just went through all mine. Let's hear it.
So I'm a Toyota guy. I love Toyotas, but I'm also obviously a Ford guy. Ford's my true blue, but I love Toyotas. My daily's it's like a 17, 18 Toyota Tacoma. It was Lisa's for a long time. My wife, she's a truck gal too, and that was her daily with the kids and stuff. And our kids got bigger, so I got the hand me down crew cab Toyota. That's my daily, and then you know, for the OBS side, dude, my Bronco, I got a '94 Bronco Eddie Bauer. I love that Bronco. I'd say if I was gonna have to sell everything and keep like one vehicle, I'd have to keep Princess Truck. But the Bronco's up there.
Yeah.
I think everyone needs a Bronco. They're so badass.
It's on my list.
Dude,
for
they
sure.
are so rad. Like to get in a Bronco, they're short wheelbase, to rip around town or wherever. It's so fun.
Roll down back window.
Oh.
I think that is the coolest thing ever.
Except you smell the exhaust come through.
Yeah.
It whiffs off. But other than that, it's
I guess
badass.
it's cool when you don't have one.
Yeah, there you go. But the Bronco's rad, and it's all lifted, and we went through that thing for I buy trucks and then go, oh, we need a product develop this or that, and then go through it, and then like, well, you need to make it marketable, so we need to like go through it and make it cool looking.
Totally.
So, that's how I justify spending money on old shitbox Fords.
I mean, that's what our businesses are, so
It is.
makes sense.
Yes, it is. I think you're doing it better than I am, though. I keep on going full, and it probably doesn't pan out in the end. But the lights are still on. So anyway, so my Bronco, it's a desolate kit. It's 351 with headers, not too spicy. It's pretty cool. And then what else? Oh, the Princess truck that started the business. That's my low mile. I think it's got 82K on the entire truck. It's a F350 crew long bed. It's got a compound turbo Cummins 24 valve with Chrysler tranny behind it, 47 RE. It's all tuned up and all the bells and whistles. That truck, I think the powertrain's got maybe 15K on it. It never gets driven.
So wild.
Yeah, the truck's just it's lived its life in a shop or garage its entire life. So the paint and everything interior is awesome, even though my Rugrats grew up in it. They shoes off every time in it. And so anyway, it's on 40s, big lift, which we got to alter because it rides like shit. It's old school lift. But that truck it's on, dude, the weld, it's on weld 22 by 12 Cheyennes, which are like impossible to find.
Yeah, and if anybody's listened to any previous episodes, we have talked about the crazy story, the marketplace story of getting those.
Buying those welds. So that truck is like, that's the last holdout. Like that's the truck that built the business, that started the business. Both my boys grew up in, taking them in that truck. So that's the truck I would never sell. It's rad. It's cool to pull equipment on 38s and 40s over the pass at 70 miles an hour with compound turbos, no heat, doesn't make any heat.
Yeah.
So that's anyway. So then after that, we have the Princess truck, or the Cowboy truck, which is a truck we went through for development, and that is my big dually truck, and it's a 7.3. We never dynoed it. Our engine builder speculated around 500 horse, give or take. I don't know, but it's all.
But the motor's capable of a lot more.
It's head studded, fire ringed, all the bells and whistles on that. It's rocking a big turbo,
rods and girdle.
Yep, it's girdled and rods and all like everything that we talked about in the last episode of 7.3s. We went there and above and beyond.
Yeah.
And then it's all painted and body worked, and it's got a custom flatbed on it that we did. That we're hoping we have that the production flatbed out here the next month.
Sweet. Next month.
That's what we're hoping for. That's
awesome.
What we're hoping for. And then what next? The other truck that the Lisa truck, my wife's little blue half ton. We just blew through it last year, and it's a little 351. That's a 500 horse 351 gasser. It's all been repainted. It's on straight 05 axles, straight axled, short wide. I bought that like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I was gonna daily it, then I'm like, dude, this thing's too nice to daily it. Right, typical bullshit that I do.
It's the same thing you always do.
I always do, right? And so then we completely frame off that. It's got a powder coated frame, and body went to the paint, and it's been all body worked. Anyway, so that's that. It's on welds. It's pretty badass, dude. I love the weld.
Yeah,
weld wheels are it, man.
They really are.
What else, John? Then I bought a crew cab short recently that I was supposed to sell.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, I was supposed to sell that truck. Yeah, awesome. I bought a crew cab, a 97. Do something with 97, 96 trucks I just love.
Yeah,
you know?
I am with you.
And so anyway, yeah, cruise short, which by the way, listeners, if you find cruise shorts for good deals, be it gas or diesel, you better grab them or extended cab short bed trucks.
They're not worth buying, so just send
Just
us.
send them to us. We'll take them off your hands.
Yeah.
Let us know. They suck because they have short beds. You can't put
Yeah.
anything in them. Wink, wink. Dude, it's funny because Greg and I were talking about this, and I had the owner of a massive Ford dealership contact us and go, "Hey, I am looking for a cruise short truck. I need one. I grew up with one. This guy's got serious FU money, and he's like, if you know of one, I will buy it." And cruise shorts, he's like, "I have a good time." This guy's like very well known in our area for the Ford world dealership wise. He's like, money is not, I wouldn't say it's not an option, but he's like, "Hey, I don't just, if you find one, let me know."
Yeah, I can
Because
afford it.
cruise shorts are impossible to find right now. I don't know if people are holding on to them. If you have, they didn't make that many of them. There's a 2-year only truck.
Yeah,
So, but yes, anyway, so the cruise shorts I think are a gold, just like extended cab short beds are gold.
yeah, I agree.
Same thing, 2-year only truck.
I want one.
Yes, exactly. So, I bought that and it's 97,000 miles, all original, one owner. It's got a derpy 4-inch Rancho lift on it on welds with a Warren bumper on it with winch. It's so cool. Matching canopy. I'd give the interior. He had some meth head trying to detail it before he was going to sell it, and he stained the carpet.
How?
How do you bleach out a carpet? Like, it's opal gray, and some tweaker stained the carpet, and it's like white.
Did they use the wrong chemicals?
I don't know. But I got in there, the guy's showing it to me, and I'm like, dude, the seats are like a 9 out of 10. The dash is a 9 out of 10. Everything's legit on the truck. I would say the body is, I found one dent in the body. Kenny and I are looking at it, I'm like, dude, I don't see anything wrong with this paint or bodywork.
Like dent that, like a paintless dent repair guy
Yes,
could probably
100%. Tiny, like a door ding, hit, something like that, right?
Jeez.
And I'm like, I got to buy this truck.
Yeah.
But yet, yeah, look at the carpet, and it's like all opal gray, and then it goes like white, like someone dyed their hair white. And I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. So other than that, it's pretty legit. Inside the bed's legit. That's what I always look for. I look like, see what the bed looks like. Matching canopies. It's been in a shop its whole life. So anyway, I bought that truck. Long story short, I was gonna sell it, and I don't think I can. I have kind of that problem. And then I got my little lowrider truck, which I blew up. It's a little 95 F-150 short bed XL, but it has air.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it has air. I bought it on a package deal with a dually axles a while ago.
Perfect.
Yep. So we got it running, and I sold it. Came back to me. I bought it back from the guy, and I sold it again, and I bought it back from another guy, something like that. And so it's lowered, and anyway, had a straight six, and straight six, and I blew it up. I was actually not paying attention. It has like 300K on it, so it's in the barn.
So you've blown up a vehicle as well.
Yeah, it was a good time. It barely got me to Thanksgiving dinner. I was really gonna be in deep shit with Lisa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Would you want to sell that truck to me?
Kenny wants it bad.
Oh.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. We can talk. Well, so
Okay.
I was gonna go.
Going.
So anyway, so I have that truck, and then I just recently bought. I don't think I'm missing anything at that point. I think that's all of them. Except
you're pretty good.
Yeah, and then I just bought 2 bullnose trucks. I bought this 86 F350 Crew with a factory Dana 60 Kingpin. It was like the first year. Yep, first year truck. Enrique got me good. I went to go, and then I bought also a little short wide bullnose 82, I think it is, or 83. It's still an F100.
That's awesome.
It is so rad, dude. I'm more stoked on that truck than the crew cab. Like I don't know, the crew cab's pretty cool too. The F100 though does not run. But I bought it for the entire chassis and what it is. So it's pretty cool. We have some plans for that, but the F350, like the more and more I look at it, the more I'm like, this is like a very cool truck. Like you don't see a lot of bullnose crew cabs.
No.
At least in our area. I don't know if that's because they didn't make a lot of them, if the logging world just destroyed them as crummies, because that was a big, crew cabs in our area in Oregon, if people don't understand it, especially in the valley where logging is such a big deal, your crew cab was the key essential for running crews up
Yeah.
and down the mountain logging crews.
Yeah.
And
They were just work trucks.
yep,
They were
and
not family trucks.
no, and the problem loggers use cork boots.
Yep.
And so then I remember my dad back in the day when he was always looking for crew cabs because he was always into dent sides and bump sides. He was like, "Hey, I found a crew cab, but it was a crummy, which is that was a term they used for them,
Yep.
and the insides, the floorboards are just like done because the guys wore cork boots and destroyed the inside of the truck."
Yeah.
So this, I think, I have to wonder in those years, you don't see a lot of crew cabs in the bullnose years, especially around here. It seemed like,
Yeah.
and I think those were crummies, dude. They didn't last very long.
Right.
Like as if it was a truck for like a logging company, they're
Oh, they get ran hard and put away wet
they,
nonstop.
yeah, and they just get thrashed. So I don't know. I'm always telling Kenny, like, when I found this, when Enrique, I went to go look at the single cab truck, a little short wide. Enrique had this crew cab sitting there, and like Lisa and I pull up, and I'm like, "Oh, there's the single cab that Enrique's told me about." And then I'm like, "Holy shit, look at that crew cab!" Like I just didn't even like look at the little short wide anymore. I was like, "That crew cab is awesome."
It looks so cool.
Enrique put like a 36-inch, like this old school mud tire from like the 80s.
Is it bias ply?
Yeah, it's a bias ply. It looks super like,
Yeah.
even people like I have it at the shop right now, and I think Ricky's like, "Dude, are those original tires?" I'm like, "No, dude, they're actually a bias ply that Enrique put on there."
Yeah, like a new tire.
Yes, but the old school look.
Yes.
And it has this look. It needs to be leveled out in the front a little more, and I think you just send it. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
So interior is probably, I don't know, it's a 6 out of 10, maybe 8, 7 out of 10.
Chalky.
No, actually, it's not chalky.
Really?
Yes, Enrique and I are both talking about that because, okay, people, if you don't know about bullnose era trucks, our early 80s trucks, the door panels, whatever Ford was using, actually, you know what it is? I bet Ford's using chalked up used cocaine. That's what they're using for their plastic because that's what it turns into.
Yeah.
It turns into this chalkiness, like the sun beats on it, and the door panels, whatever they used, the plastic isn't like modern day plastic.
No.
It
almost doesn't even seem like plastic.
No, and it turns white, and then it starts getting this. It turns into chalk, like I said, and so that's the first thing when it comes to bullnose is that I look at is what's the door panels like, because it was really the sun would beat right in the door panel where your arm would rest, or where it met the window, your up down window. It was just really wide and flat. Like I want to say it's like 2 inches wide, or
Yeah.
and so the sun would just beat right down on the area. And we'd have bullnose trucks that used to come in the shop when I was younger, and there'd be like holes where the chalk would just go away. Then you have a hole, you're looking right down in the door panel, right? So this one wasn't that way.
Nice.
So that was something that I saw that truck, and I'm like, all right, give me a package deal, Enrique. Like, what am I talking for both?
Yeah.
So Kenny and I he drove it, and I trailered the little F100. And so anyway, I just picked those up, and that's my arsenal. Oh, and then my wife, our other daily is the boss drives a Sequoia lifted on 35s. Other than that, that's it. I don't have any other rigs that I know about yet.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have an arsenal.
I have quite a few. And then Greg sent me I'm a big sucker for Oxford White. I don't know what it is. Oxford White with gray opal interior is my jam, dude.
I get you.
Greg sent me a 97 F350, just like the Princess truck, crew long with 46,000 miles on it. OG.
Really?
Yeah. For $24,000. 460 truck. Probably a mass air because it's a California truck.
Right.
I'm like, holy shit. He's like, I don't know. I think that's too much for it. And I'm like, dude, shut the hell up. Go buy that truck.
Is he going to?
He says he's going to look at it, but he has too many trucks as it is. So he said he doesn't need any more. Someone with actually a little bit of restraint, but it's like, he says 20 minutes from him, like near San Diego area. I'd go, if I had enough time, I'd hop on a plane.
Really?
Yes, I'd go buy that truck right now.
You should.
Yeah, I should.
Why not?
Lisa might not be happy with me. So anyway, that's my arsenal of trucks. That's a long discussion.
I know, just on that.
So anyway, moving on.
This is just a fun one. Roland Fisher said, figured you guys would get a kick out of this. I found a pair of Weld super singles with hubcaps for the 7-lug F250s on Marketplace.
Kenny and I are just talking about this. So, okay, everyone's going to go, what's a 7-lug F250?
That's we were talking about them in that.
Yes. So in in the weird years between 97 98, they made a goofy, what we call the Ford Taurus F-150, F-250,
Right.
right? And 97 is a really goofy year because they made both that body style and a normal OBS body style.
Yes.
That was the goofiness. That's why an
Yes.
OBS term came up that I've been told, because dealer parts guys would go, hey, is it an old body style Ford or is it a new body style F-250?
Right.
And they had a 7 lug. It was a light duty 3/4 ton.
Yeah.
And
Super weird.
it's way weird, but Kenny and I had this discussion. They still look good with Weld Super Singles. Those trucks look like they look a little goofy regardless, but you throw a set of Weld Super Singles on it, and then like, okay, that's a pretty cool looking truck.
Yeah.
And I wonder, was that if you had one of those, what other bolt pattern used a 7 lug on that spacing?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
I don't know if any other vehicle that's came 7 lug.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Ford just like really made it like when it sucked to be a wheel manufacturer, and like, oh, dude, really?
Serious?
You're seriously gonna make this?
What
Yeah.
you're doing.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate that.
Like a 2-year only truck, huh?
Yeah. Congratulations. Now you just made my life look more difficult building wheels.
Yeah. So dumb.
All right. So what else we got?
So going into the Instagram, which is also, commenting on Spotify is a great place for asking questions. Emails to the Truckery podcast at gmail.com.
We love questions.
Is a good one. And of course, our Instagram. So this guy, Clinton Grubbs, says, hey guys, I inherited my grandpa's 89 C350 Centurion. I'd really like to put a Carrick straight axle coilover kit on it. Do you know if it'll work? Yes,
It will work.
For sure.
Dude, that's a kick-ass looking Centurion.
That is super cool.
And it's got a sunroof.
Sunroof. What the heck?
Right?
Yeah, man.
You know,
was that standard for these things to come with bushwhackers, the C350s? Because I had one that had bushwhacker flares on it just like this.
I wonder if Centurion did that.
I bet they did.
I don't know. And they're painted to match too.
Yeah.
That's like, it's not like it's like a black bushwhacker. That's pretty cool.
Dude, that's super
Something
cool.
about, I think brick noses look better in a Centurion.
There's
do too. Something about, or a Bronco. They look good in Broncos too.
I like the Broncos.
Yeah.
What
the hell is that? Is that a Cummins next to a Cybertruck?
Yeah, he says, I think you guys need to make this happen. It's a common rail next to Cybertruck.
We joke on the Cybertruck thing because I freaking hate them. Like Cybertrucks, my God. Love Elon. Hey, love what you're doing, bud. But a little bit of like body lines would go a long way with your Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
What else you got?
This one's from Caleb. Doesn't have his last name, but he says, hey, my name is Caleb. I'm 19 and I have a 97 F350 73 ZF5 4x4. That's a cool truck.
That is a cool truck.
I had a question for the Truckery podcast. I live in Montana and I'm planning to come for the truck show in August. What are some things to prepare for before I make the 12-hour drive? Pre-road trip stuff. I'm not unfamiliar with my truck or anything. I just want to make sure I won't get stranded on the trip. Thanks.
Well, Kenny said it best. Cam's piston sensor would probably be something I'd always keep in the glove box.
Yep, that with a 10 millimeter.
Yep, and I'd definitely get an OG one if you can.
Yeah.
Not a aftermarket.
Brad's told me, I think you want the ones that are the gray plastic.
Yes. Yep,
not
I've been
black.
told that.
Okay.
That's a solid one. I said a AAA account.
I mean, honestly.
Just to get it for a month.
Yeah.
I mean,
having a roadside, it's very cheap insurance.
You can cancel it after a month or two.
Yeah.
And say, hey, that's a little bit one. Or you could do what John does and just send it with no tools or nothing.
I actually travel a lot with tools.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've found typically if I travel with tools, the majority of the time I don't need to use them.
Okay.
And I've had times where I didn't travel with tools and I did need them.
So take as much shit as you can, Caleb, tool wise, and you should be fine.
Yeah. I mean, personally too, I guess you could just spiral out of control as far as things to bring and prepare with.
But I would say for me, I always have a tab of stop leak. I always keep a stop leak tab. Like I always say, they're
what do you
tabs.
mean?
So stop leak in the chalky in the little pellet form.
Okay.
I always keep a couple of those in my truck box. In case
You just drop them
Yeah,
into.
chunk it up and drop them into the radiator if you have like a coolant leak that you just need to get by.
Really?
Oh yeah, hell
You'll
yeah, dude.
you'll use those.
Yeah, I mean you flush it afterwards and get it out of there after you make the
Okay.
fix.
All right.
But a thing of stop leak just in case.
Yeah.
Because what if you have like a gasket start leaking coolant or whatever?
Yeah.
I definitely take a couple quarts of oil and a jug of coolant,
Yep.
100% or just water.
Just water.
Yep, just
Because
like
then
that.
if you need to drink it.
Yeah, coolant might be a bitch to drink.
Yeah.
Obviously tools. So you don't have to
Yeah.
take the whole toolbox, but just enough. Pair of pliers, that kind of shit.
My favorite thing is like I always carried around, those little Craftsman boxes that like the top opens up and there's like 3 drawers.
Oh yeah.
I would fill that thing, and it's super heavy, pain in the butt. I'm like, you know what? Screw this. So I went to Home Depot and I got one of those Husky, like 200-piece mechanic set things that's in a plastic case.
That all goes together nice.
Yes. So instead of bringing that heavy metal toolbox,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
like when they're on sale at Home Depot, they're like $100 or something.
And it has everything you need. It might not be the best hand tools, but it's good enough for shit on the
It's
side
good
of the
enough
road.
on the side of the road, yeah.
100%.
And then you don't have to like think about, do I have this size socket and this size? Like you just kind of toss that in there, and you're good.
I would always bring an extra drive belt. I always keep an extra drive belt just in case. You never know. Would you think it? I mean, you can go so far as an extra tensioner, but I mean that might be too far. I think a belt would be a good idea. Just especially if you're in like this guy, like Caleb's in Montana, so there's gonna be stretches of where, depending on how
there's stretches of
no man's
land for
right.
sure.
So I mean, like even if you have a tensioner go out, you can still put the belt back on it, new one just to get you there.
And that's something I would check before going.
100%. Pull the belt off, spin all the pulleys, make sure the tensioner actually has resistance to it.
Make sure there's no play in your vacuum pump.
Yeah, that's a big one. Or delete the vacuum pump.
Yeah, but that's a big process if you're just prepping.
Right, I know, I'm just joking. But the other one, I hate to say this, a roll of duct tape.
Oh,
100%.
Dude, yeah.
100%.
Roll of duct tape is key.
A good flashlight.
I'm a bit, good flashlight.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of bringing a multimeter.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, you can't
like a cheap Harbor Freight multimeter.
Yep, that's a good one.
And for flashlights, personally, I like a USB rechargeable one because usually I don't need my flashlight, but when I do, if it's battery powered, it's dead.
Yeah.
So if I can like have it plugged into the cigarette lighter in the rig, I know that I have like a functioning flashlight. Even if my truck breaks down,
right,
the battery's still probably okay. True. And I can like charge up a flashlight.
And Streamlight makes a nice compact one, and it comes with a cigarette lighter, and it comes with a 110 charger, and they're compact. It charges while you're driving.
Yeah,
I always like the Streamlight stuff.
I do too.
I don't know. Is there anything else? I mean, a jack, of course. Maybe. I mean, depends on what you're doing, or if you're on big monster truck tires, it might be kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, a floor jack's not a bad thing.
That's a big, heavy object.
It is. It's one of those. I bring one when I'm towing a trailer.
Yeah.
But I don't really bring one just like if I'm truck solo.
If it's the Super Duty, or if it would before when I was using one of the OBSs for towing, I always have a Pro Eagle in it.
Yeah.
But that's a big expenditure. In fact, I don't know, that Harbor Freight one. People seem to like that Harbor Freight knockoff.
I've got one,
and it works good, right?
Dude, it's sweet.
And were they spendy?
$300
for and it's like
that's like full retail, which nobody ever pays full retail at Harbor Freight unless you're in a pinch.
So tell me this: is it like 2.5 ton? Is that what it is, or is it bigger?
No, I think it's a 3 ton.
So that's easy enough to lift like a side of an pull a wheel off on the side of the road.
Yeah, and 100%. It's got the extension on it
for lifted trucks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I like how they just totally knocked off Pro Eagle.
I mean,
it's 100%
they did
knockoff.
A good job of it, but yes, they did.
I wonder that the seal's holding the piston, like all the fluid back.
I have ran Harbor Freight jacks for a long time.
No problems?
Never.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think the only time I've gotten rid of one was because I broke it. Like using it in like a torn up
in a
driveway. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. But
I can't think of anything else.
The only other thing I like to have, but it's not totally necessary, is on a 7.3, I like to have a CTS3 Insight, just because if your truck just stops running randomly, and even if you don't know what all the information means, but you know somebody who does.
Or they hit the Google, you have internet, you can hit the Google button.
Yeah, and you can at least be able to read like ICP, IPR.
Yeah, that's true.
It's nice to have. It's not typically if one of those things is an issue, you're not going to be able to side of the road fix it. But I mean, you could change an ICP, no problem.
Yeah,
IPR, if
might
you
be a
got
little
a
bit,
fuel bowl, is
a little bit of pain.
yeah. But I like that for diagnostic purposes.
That's I never thought about that. That's a good one. So anyway, I hope that helps Caleb. I hope to see you at the show.
Yeah.
Stoked to see the show, and maybe Caleb will win our 33,000
Oh yeah.
mile OBS we're giving away.
Yeah.
What's next?
Did we go over this one at all?
Ooh, which one?
Asking about the intercooler.
Hey, I was wondering if you guys have seen the diesel site water to air intercooler for OBS trucks. What your thoughts are? I definitely seems nice, and I wouldn't have to cut up my core support, but I'm worried about. But I'm worried it wouldn't be as effective. Wouldn't be efficient or effective. Sorry, I'm having a hard time today. Too much coffee. The cost is pretty similar to an air-to-air setup. I'm wondering if you think it would be a good choice over the air-to-air for an OBS that isn't currently intercooled. My truck is a 97 F250 and is used to tow a camper in southern and central Nevada. I get spicy there, I think.
Oh yeah.
Where we are very hot summers and some steep mountains we have to drive over. I don't know. I haven't heard any info on that. I trust me, I get it. Like, a pipe kit intercooler is kind of a process. It's not the end of the world. There's definitely a lot harder things, but that's something we don't. I don't have any info on that.
It's a diesel site, right?
I believe
I'm
that's
trying
what
to
he
pull
said.
this up. I mean, I definitely have opinions on it, but
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
so in looking at this, I don't think it's a bad option. And I do like air to water intercoolers. And that's like what a 6.7 Super Duty comes with. I would want to run it on its own. I'd want the water system to have its own external cooler,
Sure.
versus just through the radiator. And I don't know what this one is. But the only other thing I see about this is I'm really not a fan of silicone hoses that are not straight. Like 90s or 180s like this is, depending on how much boost you're running, like they're easier to blow off, I think, when they're not just used as a straight coupler.
I can see that. That's an interesting point of view. I've never thought about that. I guess I always think about how thick and well built the silicone hoses are, I guess, but I can see your point there.
And this on top of the engine bay,
A lot of heat.
for one, yeah, a lot of heat. And for servicing anything, I think it kind of crowds it.
Well, you could just take what I look at is you just take the clamps off, move that intercooler out of the way without opening up the cooling system. You know what's weird is like it doesn't look like big enough flow like water. Is that the inlet and outlet for the coolant lines? They're not very big.
They're not very big.
You would think that if you're really wanting to keep it cool, you'd want bigger inlet outlet, right? Like diameter to keep water flow like going through there. That looks small to me, but I don't know.
Well, if you think about the size of your heater core hoses and how much heat,
right? That's a good point. But that looks smaller. That looks like 3/8. Like at least that's the picture, but maybe I'm wrong.
And it appears that it does have its own cooler.
So it must rock through the cooling system, through that cooler, and then back through the said water
it
to air.
Doesn't come with a pump.
Oh, here's a picture of air cool. I mean, like a friend of mine I said, there's more than one way to skin a cat, right?
Totally.
So I mean, maybe let us know. Buy one, let us know. We'd like to know their findings.
Yeah, I don't think they're bad. I'm a fan of I'm a fan of air to air because there's less room for issues. Right. If you got a leak in your air to air intercooler system, bummer. Yeah, you're not going to make as much power.
Or how it's manufactured and it leaks internally. And then you're getting air into your coolant. Or you're getting coolant into your air intake to your turbo. That would suck.
That would. I mean, it'd be a little like meth injection, kind
Oh,
of,
you're right.
except not meth.
I don't know. I mean, Mr. Bradley, try it out. Let us know. I don't know. I don't have any details, or I've never talked to anyone that's installed it.
Yeah.
I know our air to air with our pipe kit and our intercooler system works really good. We've had good results. In fact, the last show we gave on our website, it actually has
It's like a 200-degree drop.
So if this thing does that with less moving BS to deal with or less parts, maybe that's a good way to go.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Totally.
We're interested. We really are.
And that was Connor Bradley. Yeah, let us know. That'd be awesome. Let's see. A 460 episode.
I love 460s.
From Marshall.
I love
Ziegler
460s.
Greer.
I know some people like, oh my gosh, a gasser. I mean, in this day and age, I don't think it even matters anymore. Sometimes,
My 460 is hard to beat, and it's cheap. It's so cheap to fix.
Well, okay, that truck I just told you about that Greg told me about.
Yeah.
If that truck it has 45K on it, right?
Right.
If that was a 7.3, it'd be a $50,000 truck.
Right. Oh, for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
But people are like, oh, it's a 460. It's like, well, what are you gonna use it for? We've talked about this before. Like, people get so hung up on like, oh, it has to be a 7.3. Well, what are you using it for? Oh, I'm just gonna use it to haul, my boat from here to there. Well, are you pulling over gnarly passes or like on gnarly grades? No. Okay, well then just enjoy a 460 for less dollars, and you probably buy a nicer truck at times.
Yeah, and the mileage difference is negligible as soon as you have to, do e-fuel, turbo, injectors,
glow plugs,
all the things.
Right. There's a little more maintenance, I feel like, on a diesel versus a gasser,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. I love both. I really do. I think you have to pick your poison on what you're going to use it for. If you're like, hey, I've got a 14,000 pound trailer, no, 460 is not your choice unless you really want to put a bunch of money into it. And even then, I still think it's not your choice.
Yeah.
If you just like want a cool truck to lift and drive around on Saturdays, Sundays, or like I said, take the boat to the lake,
do it.
That's the one right there.
Yeah. And I think I would love to do a true 460 episode, but I think in order to do it justice, we got to do like a little bit of like
we need our machinist here. We need
research
Ryan out of
and planning.
We need Ryan out of Idaho, our machinist, to come and sit in with us, or via Skype or whatever it is you kids call it these days, and have him like talk about, because we've done 2 of them so far that were like the 520 stroker on a 460 chassis,
right?
And then we just did another one that wasn't a 520 stroker that made almost as much power.
No way.
Yeah, and it wasn't even over the top, and the thing made, what did that make? I think it made like 520 horse or something like that.
Engine dyno?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ryan dynos all of the stuff he sends us. So, I mean, I'd be interesting to, I think Collins made 660 or something like that, the 520. It was something like that. I'm getting my numbers a little bit off here, but I'm pretty close. But I would like Ryan to sit in, because there are things with gas engines that you have to do to make them flow.
Oh, yeah.
Like anything, but he would be a good reference to tell people.
And it would be nice to do something like from mild to wild.
Correct.
Like, is it worth just putting a cam in your, like, let's break down what the factory 460
I think the big one
and the issues.
Yeah, well, the big one was they were so choked up in the later years, first of all. And I think getting the exhaust cleaned up is big. Like headers, get rid of those stupid manifolds that have so many problems. Get rid of those, do headers, a good set of headers. L&L makes some spicy stuff for 460s, dude. Their stuff is solid for 460s.
Okay.
When it comes to headers, I think. I would do a set of headers. I clean up the exhaust. If you're at EPA, don't listen to this, but I would do a nice muffler and to 3-inch that sucker all the way back.
Yep.
Right? And it cleans it up. Fuel side, what we've learned, EEC, you can only go so far. I know there's a bunch of window lickers out there. They're like, oh my God, there's aftermarket EEC stuff. Whatever, dude. If that makes you happy.
Whatever, dude.
I mean, I just think like a good Holly system, don't church it up.
Right.
Give it a good fuel system. And if it's a mass air, you're a cool kid on the block with a mass air. I love mass air stuff.
What about like the heads? Is it worth swapping heads or going to a different
If you're gonna
compression
swap
ratio?
if you're gonna swap heads, then you might as well just go full. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
do a cam, heads, intake, fuel injection system. At that point, you might as well have it broke down if it's high miles and go through the crank and the bottom end and everything like that.
What about a cam with stock heads?
I think totally doable.
Like is the old RV cam still a thing?
Dude, I don't even want to talk about that shit. I don't want to sound like an expert. I have not experienced it, so I don't even want to say, oh yeah, do that. But that's why, transparency, what it is. We use a machinist out of Idaho, and I've known this guy forever. I've talked about him. He does an amazing job for us. And so I just say, hey, here's this engine this customer wants, a 500 horse, make this happen. And then he puts the recipe together, sends it to us.
Perfect.
So that's, I think there's so much information out there that I'd rather talk to someone that does it day in, day out, what works, what doesn't work. Hey, I used these pistons before, they failed us. I used these rods before, they failed us, or it works great.
Yeah.
So that's why I like to get Ryan on the show. If we can break him out of Idaho and his extra activities that he does. Now, this guy works when he's not machining at a high-end machine shop. He's also works on a drag race team and traveling team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he knows his stuff. He was doing one cylinder head, because I guess that's how it works. One guy does one cylinder head, another guy does the other cylinder head. That was his job. Then what's that deal where they do the you drag race and then you drive to the next
Dragon drives.
Yeah, Dragon. He was doing like one of those too.
Oh man,
that
looks like cool so much fun.
So he has a lot of information from the high end world of race car shit and drag racing. Oh, and he does drag race engines or drag boat engines. So he's always doing that kind of stuff too. He's traveling all around with different teams. He's a very good guy and has a ton of knowledge. We need to get him on here.
Yeah, no, that'd be fantastic.
So maybe we'll do a 460 episode. We get Ryan on here because he'd be really good for gasser stuff.
Yeah,
so,
heck yeah.
Yeah. Moving on.
Should we do one more?
We'll do one more. And then what time is it? Probably
we got them
at Marketplace?
Yeah. Well, Lance.
Lance is always a good time.
Oh yeah. What seats fit in what trucks and what brackets are needed? I want to put 40/20 40s in my XL truck with a bench. Also regarding colors, lapis blue over white two-tone is clearly the most beautiful.
You might be biased, Lance.
No kidding.
Right? Actually, Lance has a badass little half-ton extended cab short bed, and what is Lance's Instagram?
For Low Lance.
Check out Lance's Instagram. It is a riot. I met Lance truck show number 3, I think it was, somewhere in there.
Yeah, he came up with the Desla guys, right?
Yeah, but he was on his way to go to Alaska, if I remember right.
To do the Alcan.
To do the Alcan with him and his son and his dad.
Yeah.
And this truck is all pre-run. It's like a mixture of pre-runner. It's a weird. It's like not full pre-runner, but not like day. It's cool as hell.
It's like a pre-runner that he also like kind of overlands.
Yes, and it is totally capable.
Yeah, like it can go bang whoops.
Yes,
but it's 4-wheel drive. Yeah, it's a unique, cool truck.
And he does everything. I'm pretty sure Lance 90% of it's on his own.
Oh yeah, I see him posting, working on it in his 2-car garage, or I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what size garage, but in his garage.
Yep, and he's a character to boot. And anyway, I remember showing up at the truck show, and they get out, and his dad, him, and his kid are all headsetted up. They had headsets on this truck. I'm like, holy crap! He goes, oh yeah, and I'm like, your kid's gonna ride in the extended cab part? Oh, he's fine, not a big deal.
It's awesome.
I thought it was awesome. So Lance is a wealth of knowledge. He's a good time. If you look at his Instagram, like I said, he does a great job. Lapis blue. I don't know about that one, Lance. I think you're a little biased on that. But seats. Okay, this is a big one right here. Kenny and
I don't know any answers to this question.
Okay, so on the seats of our OBS Fords, we're talking OG seats. All right, we're talking now. Here's how Kenny and I do it. So you have what we call a seat pan.
Right.
It's what our seats bolt to. So we have I'm going to say we have the cushion of our seat. It then bolts from the seat track. Seat track then goes to the seat pan.
Seat pan goes to the floor pan.
Correct.
Okay.
We're all on the same page.
All on the same page.
Okay. Single cabs, crew cabs have the same bolt pattern that we've discovered on all those trucks.
Front seats.
Front seats. Rear seats are obviously on a crew cab are the same as the front seat bolt pattern. So if you're
really,
yes, this is cool. So if you're like Brian Castleman, he took a set of 40/20 40s. Now, what a 40/20 is, obviously you have the center console that flips down or flips up. That could be a seat. That's what's considered a 40/20 40.
So 40% driver, 40% passenger,
Yep.
20% in the middle.
You do the math, it's
gives you
100%.
100%
There we go.
of seats.
You cracked the code.
Got
So trust the science.
Yeah.
So you can take that same setup of seats and you can put it in the back.
Yep.
And it's killer looking.
Do you have to have the 40-20-40 seat pan?
Yes.
You can't put it on the rear bench.
No. The rear
benches
bench,
don't have a seat pan, do
correct.
they?
Benches on the back are okay. So here's where it also gets goofy. Benches do not have a seat pan. They have their own legs that bolt to the floor. Okay.
Yep.
Now it's pretty simple that way.
Front and rear.
Yes.
Okay.
Front and rear. So if you bought an XL truck and it has a bench seat, there's no pan.
Okay, so Lance's XL truck, he's going to need a 40-20-40 pan.
Yes.
But it's an extended cab.
So here's where it gets goofy. Here's where it really gets goofy. So you can take all the seats of all of our Fords and mix and match them, 100%. Where it gets goofy is the bolt patterns for your seat pan changes. Now,
for the seat pan to the floor pan?
Yes, and the floor pan bolts. Okay, now this is what Kenny and I have discovered. This is what Oscar and I have discovered and working on these trucks. I'm going to be full transparent. I don't consider myself an expert. This is just our discovery.
Right.
When it comes to extended cabs and Broncos, the bolt holes in the floor are different location.
Okay.
Because the seats on those slide forward.
Like fold and slide forward so that somebody can crawl into
Correct.
the back.
Now, here's real goofiness. They made a bench for those trucks, and the bench had it was like it had a split in the middle, and you would like a normal bench is solid in the rear. Yeah, right. Where it would pivot and kind of pivot to the side.
I've seen those. Yeah. Okay. Super goofy.
That's where it gets goofy on those. But when it comes to saying Lance saying, hey, I want to put a 40-20-40 in my XL truck. What he wants to do, I want to put a 40-20-40 in my XL truck with a bench. So it's a bench right now?
Yes.
Okay, got that. I thought he had like a Recaros or something in that truck.
Well, maybe he's got another truck.
Might be. So how it works with that is you need to get, I just talked to Greg from Desolate about this. He wants the same thing. So on extended cab trucks, you have to get the seat pan for a 40 or a extended cab that slide forward. And then there's a bridge that bridges both the seat pans together to run a center console. And then you can run your center console being a 20%er that flips up and down. You cannot, that I've discovered, you can't take the seat pan and out of a crew cab or a single cab and put them in that truck, and the seats will not function the same, that I've discovered.
But they would bolt in.
I don't think they'd even bolt in because there's a missing hole. There's a missing hole on the driver and passenger inside bolt hole. It's a different location.
Gotcha.
So you have to source out the correct pan for the 40-20-40 in extended cab or Bronco that we've discovered.
So because extended cabs and Broncos, you could also get just 2 buckets with a center console.
Correct.
Is the seat pan on those?
Well, here's another thing real quick. The center console bolts to if I remember right, the center console just bolts to the body of the truck.
Okay.
Where if you want the 40%er seat, that has to be this little truss, a factory truss that connects the two seat pans together. It bolts all together, and then you put that 20%er seat on that. So,
but the seat pans that go on driver and passenger side are the same.
For a Bronco and extended cab.
Yes,
we've discovered.
But for center console and for 40-20-40, it's just if you have the 40-20-40, you have to add the crossover truss piece.
Correct. But you can just take, if you found that centerpiece with the seat, you can bolt it to your 2 bucket seat pans. Yes, as long as the seat pans are Ford, extended cab, and Bronco.
Right.
Now, here's the other thing. Greg and I are just talking about this. So the seats themselves, the cushiness and all the framework, unbolts off the track system.
Okay.
Right? So you could take, and I go, hey, I just found, so the tracks are different for extended cab and Broncos.
We covered that because they have to fold and slide forward.
Correct.
To the back.
So if you say, hey, my seats are crap in my extended cab, the track system's good. You can then find a crew cab, single cab, 60% seat, unbolt it from its track assembly, and bolt it onto your extended cab track system.
And they will work properly.
They'll work. Yeah, they're all interchangeable on that we've discovered. They're all the seat itself can bolt onto different track systems. The track systems then bolt onto the pan system. The pan then bolts onto the
floor.
cab, the floor. So it's complicated. I hope that helps. I don't know, dude. I probably sucked it up.
No, I think you got it. The other thing that I've found too is the seat belts.
They are different as well.
They are different between extended cabs and crew cab and single cabs.
Yes, and a lot of it has to do with the center console style.
Yes.
So if you have a plastic center console,
which only came in extended cabs and Broncos.
Yeah, I've never seen it in a crew cab.
Or single cabs.
If you have the plastic center console, then the seat belt has a taller plastic, what'd you call it?
Mold, sheath.
Yeah, that it rides in, so that way it doesn't flop over and you have to find it. It's always sticking straight up, so to speak, right? It's erect. It's always ready for the party. And so that is a different one. But then when you go, hey, I got rid of my plastic center console, I went to a 20% center console that flips up and down.
Yeah.
You need a little bit different seat belt. It's a little bit different style.
Right.
That's why it gets a little bit weird. Dude, the seat situation in our OBS Forge is really easy and actually really complicated all at once.
Yeah.
90% of the stuff is all interchangeable. The problem that Oscar and I have discovered, especially doing Super Duty seat brackets in an extended cab, which has been a nightmare because structurally they're different in bolting to the floor than a single cab crew cab.
Yep.
That's why we've been so not lazy to get to it, but like been taking a bit for us to get our Super Duty seat brackets for extended cab trucks figured out because the bolt pattern on the floor is totally different. The bottom of the cab or the floor of the cab doesn't resemble any of those two body styles. So it's been a lot of trying to figure that out, make it structural, make it safe. And I think when it comes to seats, there's a lot of seats out there like Recaro or Corbo or whatever. Scheelmans, like our blue truck, we actually made a bracket system that bolts to the 40-20-40 pan.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing that sucks is the dimensions of a cab of an OBS are so much smaller than a Super Duty.
Right.
So you're trying to fit a Super Duty set of seats in a cab that's not as tall.
Trying to put 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
Correct. So you're trying to and that's why I love OE seats are still one of my favorites. I love Super Duty seats. I like how comfy they are. They have heat. You get new enough ones. They have cool. You can get manufacturers like Cat Skin has shit ready to go for them.
Yep.
And even their cooling system and heating system is far superior at times than the factory stuff. I love the OE seats because they're really functional. Like you can swap them around. I like the plastic center console and then
when they're not blown out, I think they're incredibly comfortable.
They are, and that's the other thing. Like our seats, people are so quick. I guess I'm really not upselling our product very well, but I really like a good upholstery guy can rebuild your factory seat if he's good.
Oh yeah.
Foam. I think there's a seat manufacturer it's like not a seat manufacturer, but upholstery manufacturer that now sells the foam for the bottom.
So you can just buy new foam and
and you give it to and really, if you've ever taken a seat apart, they're really not that complicated. They're kind of meant to take apart.
Yep.
You have to deal with some what we call hog rings. And
yeah.
That's not a big deal though. They're pretty easy. You can buy a set of hog ring pliers if you really want to be bougie. Doing airbags in seats like we have for years on Europeans, domestics and stuff.
Right.
Really,
yeah,
really,
you have to do that a lot.
We do that a lot, doing airbag stuff. And so really seats are meant to come apart. There's very few seat or vehicle seats or manufacturers that we've got into that aren't easy to access, to pull apart and put back on.
Yeah.
Interior is, when it comes to that stuff, I think it's not as complicated as people think.
Yeah.
So I mean, Lance, I hope that helps you. Knowing you, Lance, you're not even going to deal with this stuff. You're just going to put some high-end race buckets in this, knowing you. So I don't even know why you're answering this question. I've seen your truck before and what you do. So you probably should just best go buy some high-end Corbo seats. Speaking of which, Oscar and I were talking. I think it was Recaro now sells a baby seat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Have you seen that?
I've seen those. They're cool.
So I'm like, hey, Oscar, you need to get a set or get one of these, even though you don't have a kid yet, but get that because it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So manufacturers like that are already stepping up. Maybe they'll make bolt-in stuff eventually. You never know. Or you can buy our Super D seat bracket kit, find yourself some Super D seats or some Schillman seats and use our bracket kit as well. So Schillman makes some good stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps, Lance. Hope that clears it up. And look forward to seeing you in August.
Yes. August for the truck show.
That's right. So, all right, let's hit the marketplace because it's that time.
Where do we want to do it?
Dude, that Z50. Wait, a Z150R?
Well, somebody put a Piranha.
Oh, go to that. Click on that right now. Okay, we were just looking at Marketplace. If you don't watch this on our YouTube channel or whatever it is that John puts it on, I'm a big sucker for Honda Z50, especially the later ones. The
Same.
later ones were the cooler ones, I think, when they like.
Before the CRF.
Yes. Dude, look, it's got extended swing arm. Like the swing arm looks different. Oh, it's a whole. It's like that's the engine and swing arm.
It's got different wheels.
Yeah.
It's got the snowblower tires. I've got those on mine.
Snowblower tires, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that's a thing.
They're called snow hogs.
Shut up.
They're the only tires. They're the biggest tire you can fit on a factory rear swing arm. I have the same bike.
I just picked up a snowblower, so now it makes sense now.
Yeah.
Didn't know people were doing that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah, this thing has a Piranha 150 in it.
I like how it's got the tall BMX bars on it.
Yes.
It's got a set of and it's got aftermarket. No, a stock triple clamp on it, doesn't it? Because the forks bolt to the top.
No, it looks like that's a BBR.
Is it? It looks like the upper clamp
conversion.
is OG. Oh, maybe I'm wrong then.
No.
I could be wrong.
No, there's not a clamp on the
just a
factory ones. No, there are. Well, but the handlebars are like welded to the.
That's right.
top
Okay, so
plate.
you're right. Yes, 100%. Okay.
Yeah.
This thing's sick.
Oh yeah, it's got the reservoir rear shocks. See that little red reservoir sticking out?
I would pay $1,300 for this.
Well, let's go get it.
I mean, it's in Bend. It's here locally.
Yeah. And then I can pimp out mine and we can
do
have
collarbone
Z50.
breaking, ankle breaking racing.
Dude, my Z50, I've like hit one of the jumps on the track with it, like a small one.
Okay.
With stock height bars and all clapped out, blown out suspension. And it hurts. It's just brutal. I would love to try an extended swing arm with new rear shocks, new front forks.
Make it like a little bit more plush.
Real bars.
Yeah.
And like an 88cc kit in it or something.
I would buy this and watch Shane and Keegan just rally the shit out of it. They would have more fun on it than I probably would.
I've ridden the older Z50, with the turned, the handlebars that are like really funky shaped.
Oh, I thought those were trail 50s. The ones that you could loosen up and they wrap down.
No, it's
what are you talking about?
Z50. Let's see.
That's one
Images.
I've got the one right there. I've got an 84 Z50.
That one?
Yep, I've got that right there.
I think it was like the 70s or something.
Well, they call that a Z50 up there next to it. And I thought that was a trail. But no, it is. Mini trail. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay, so it must be like the 70s, that goofy handlebar shape.
That is goofy.
I've got a buddy that has one, and he put a Piranha 140 in it. And that thing, like, if you're riding it full chat and you grab second gear, you will loop out so quick.
Those Piranhas are that gnarly?
Oh my gosh, they are insane.
Okay.
Yeah, they're scary. Like, I'm all for putting big engines and
little bikes
and getting sketchy. I don't think I would do that on one of these because at least not without an extended swing arm and all the stuff, because you can lose it quick.
That thing was cool. All right, we better move on to trucks. People are probably like, okay, I'm done with this. So anyway, let's wait a minute. Is that a F250 extended cab? It's a long bed. Damn it.
Yeah.
Let's click on it anyway.
Let's see.
How many people put stuff on Marketplace and say it's a long bed and it's actually a short bed? So you never know. You always got to look. Okay, so what we're looking...
It is a long bed, but...
I like that color. Okay, so what we're looking at here is what was the year on this bad boy?
This is a 1997.
Okay, so what we got here is I have an OBS with a Dana 60 front axle swap and a Stage 1 Samwise transmission, but reverse went out. Okay, I got it diagnosed. It's just the clutches that need replaced. $300 to fix. Just want something new. Interior is very clean. Just the dash pad and the wait to start panel needs a new screw. Easy fix, no blow by. Message me for pictures or videos. Okay.
7,500.
I mean, it's got 321K. What we're looking at is, I would call it black with what is that,
Yeah, silver stripe.
silver stripe going down it. It actually is that's a cool color combo.
I like
That's a
it.
rad color combo. It's actually here in Bend.
Yep.
Let's see some pictures here. It's not like, it looks like it's been leveled out. It's not all like lifted. It looks pretty OG.
There's not a lot of detailed pictures.
No, and the pictures are far away. One picture shows a different tires and wheels. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
It's got like the old school.
Yes, you're right.
One has like American racing style wheels, and the other one has like a Mickey Thompson style, which I like the Mickey Thompson style, like a 35
Yeah.
style. Looks like. Dude, you guys over here in Central Oregon don't really like, if you're not using a sunshade in the summertime, it just bakes the inside of trucks.
Yeah,
Like in the valley, not so much, but over here, it gets spicy hot.
it does. It gets pretty warm.
Sunshades are well worth it, people, especially on our OBSs and dash pads. They're so fragile. Oh, okay, this is cool. Check this out. It has power seats, which only came in F-250s that I know about. I'm pretty damn sure that they only came in a certain amount of F-250s, had power up, down, front to back seats, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
And you can take those, speaking of seats, and you can put them in any OBS.
Yes, with the right seat band.
Yes, with the correct seat band. So, Brian Castleman, I think front and rear on his are power.
Oh, really?
Yes. He has all the cool stuff.
It's got all the cool stuff.
Interior doesn't look that bad just from these pictures.
It doesn't look terrible.
With 300K, the seat's not all like, it's not all shattered or rubbed on the bolsters.
This one, the plastic's a
Questionable.
little.
Yes.
The carpet honestly looks like a good shampoo job. Would
Possibly.
probably dial that in.
Not by a tweaker that's going to bleach it out, by the way.
For $7,500, like,
I'm not hating this truck. Let's see.
No.
Is that all the pictures?
that's all the pictures.
No. That sucks. No pictures of the bed. The headliner doesn't look that bad.
Wait. We go back. Oh, no, it doesn't give enough.
It actually looks pretty clean.
Yeah. Yeah, it really doesn't look bad.
Which is funny because, okay, so there's a side shot of the driver's side. Was there a passenger shot of it?
No.
Oh, nope, still driver.
I don't think it was because there's something to hide. Honestly,
I'm
I
hoping
think
not.
this was just like, oh, these are the pictures I have on my phone. Oh, yeah, passenger side.
And it looks good.
Yeah.
It's got swing locks on it. We've got the bumper. It looks OG in the front. Doesn't look molested.
It's got that Oregon CB. No, that's factory.
That's
Just
OG.
kidding.
For $7,500, and you're looking for an OBS, maybe you're a young kid or a 21-year-old, and you're like, hey, I just want to get in the OBS game, and
Yeah.
before I get into crack addiction, I really want to start this. I don't know. This would be a truck I'd be interested in. It looks good right there in that picture with a 35-inch tire with the Mickey Thompsons. It looks really good.
The bumpers don't look like they're hammered.
Can't see the rear or the tailgate, but he said message him and he'll send you more pictures. So, I mean,
There's a little bit from what you can see in this picture of the rear.
it doesn't look bad.
Yeah, this is I think it's priced right. I think,
Yeah,
I could dog on the lack of like detailed pictures.
but I'm not hating on it.
No,
And
nice work.
That right there shows some BFG all-terrains on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that when people go, oh, these trucks are overpriced, this is a truck that I feel like that's not bad this day and age.
$7,500, depending on what's been done to the but the transmission not having reverse.
That's right. Damn it, we forgot about that. We overlooked.
And a $300 fix. Not really.
No, it's more than $300.
I mean, yes, maybe the clutches themselves.
Yeah, we'll move on.
We'll move. Still though, if you're handy.
Yeah, and you want to do some, or hey, I bought a truck. I'm going to try to pull this apart myself.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the time to learn something. What else we got here? We're in Central. We're just going to stick with Bend. We're going to see what's available in Bend, which is probably bad for John and I, because then we're going to possibly want to go buy something because it's local. Okay, the Ford Ranger. I'm sorry. I know we talked about this last podcast. In Lapine, 92 Ford Ranger, one of my favorite body styles. I'm a sucker for Ford Rangers in the 92s, in the 90s.
$3,400 with 173,000 miles.
This is a good teenager truck, or even a Devon truck. What we have here is a Ford Ranger XLT. It's not a crew cab. They say it's a crew cab. It's an extended cab. Interior is in really good shape. Truck was my son's winter car for the season. Runs and drives good. Tires are good. 4x4 works great. with upgraded locking hubs. Thank God for that because the autos
Yeah,
back then were junk.
they
Uh,
suck.
they just suck bad, dude. Have all the maintenance, blah blah blah. Bigger V6 option, so maybe it's a 4.0.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
that
because it was what, a 3.6 and a 4.0 or
no,
3.0?
so I think that was so what they did. They had a 3.0, which I hate to say this, the 3.0 was actually people are gonna think I'm full of shit, but I always thought the 3.0 was better. It wasn't a head cracker like the 4.0. I always thought the 3.0 was better for reliability.
Okay.
New battery, new headlights, new lift kit. Interesting. Clean interior, automatic, 4x4, very straight, rust free. You don't really have rust over here. Good condition, canopy included. Is a canopy matching?
It doesn't look like it. No, the canopy looks to be like white-ish.
Okay, so then we have the factory Ford wheels. Back then they kind of like look kind of like Alcoa's stepbrother with like the what do
The
you call those? The
little
rivets around them.
rivets, yeah.
If it's got a lift kit on it, it's only a correction kit. The not so goods. I like this.
Yes.
People that
Thank
list
you.
the not so goods, thank you. Like, be honest and upfront. Don't waste my time. Like,
Yeah.
don't try to hide something.
I don't have to show up and find the not so
Right.
goods.
Okay. So the not so goods. Paint on the hood and top of the cab peeling. Okay, not a big deal.
Classic.
It uses a bit of oil, but not leaking. Used for highway commuting between Redmond and Bend. So that's like pretty good. It's not like you're
Yeah.
doing stop and go, which is really hard. Transmission is tired. Doesn't slip, but shifts hard when cold and when cold in cold weather. Which, by the way, those transmissions were always goofy, if I remember right. Speedo mileage doesn't work. Dear God, no. Power steering pump makes some noise.
It's
Typical
a Ford.
Power windows don't work. We're replacing properly with hand cranks by previous. What? We're replaced with hand cranks. That's lame. No trades. 3,800 bucks. All right, let's take a look at this thing.
I like the outside. The paint is silver,
yes.
and it's got like what do you call that?
I call them like the pinstriping, the multiple pinstripes, right?
Yeah, like
is that what that is?
a lot of stripes down at the bottom, and they're red, and they get like darker, or they start darker and they get lighter as they go.
What was the
back.
addition that came with that in a tube bumper in the rear? There was an addition. It's not the edge. The edge is new. There's an addition that came with that.
Okay.
It doesn't look beat up.
It doesn't look beat up. It looks pretty cool.
All right, let's see. There's the canopy in the background.
Oh, wow.
Okay, the only lame thing is it was a power window truck and the guy just threw hand cranks on it. That sucks, but it is what it is. Not the end of the world. So then I have a button with a hand crank below it.
Yeah.
I love the red interior.
The red interior I actually like on this truck.
Check out the seats. They kind of resemble Ford Lightning seats.
And they look plush.
At least that side does.
And they have the same stripes as the exterior. See the
they do. They just followed they tied it all together.
I mean, it's buckets with a center console and a change dispenser.
You know what?
Or change organizer.
Change organizer. Something you just don't see in newer vehicles.
I mean,
Trend's Toyota doesn't have a change organizer.
No. It doesn't even have a regular USB-C plug. It's only got a regular USB plug. It only has USB-Cs.
Gosh.
It's
to
wild.
have a change organizer, my God.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not terrible. We're looking at a picture of the front. It looks like the fender didn't match the hood
No, the hood's got just the peeling. Oh no, there's snow all over the hood.
No. I'm sorry. The fender doesn't match the door in color almost. Or maybe it's a bad angle.
It's bad angle because it's still got the stripes here.
That's true. And look at the bumper. The front bumper is not molested. It's all straight.
It's got bug guard.
Which is funny because a 92 truck, it almost has like a brick nose looking headlight, but it looks better on a Ranger in my opinion.
Agreed.
I don't know what it is. Okay, next up. Interior picture of the door again. It looks good. Headliner saggy and the seat bolster on the driver's side's kind of fuckery, but obviously with that many miles and age, you kind of got to expect something like that.
Yeah, not the end of the world.
What sucks is push button 4-wheel drive.
Oh, yeah. That's the way Jax is.
Oh, go back to the engine. I just want to see, is it... Oh, okay. Hard to tell. I can't... 4
It's
liters...
a mass... Is that a mass air?
Yeah, it is a mass air, which is interesting, right? In 92. Why'd they do a mass air in 92 on a Ranger and not on all the other platform OBS Fords in 92, right?
Why? Yeah, I don't get it.
That's interesting. That's an interesting fact. Maybe Brian Castleman can let us know. Check out the Volkswagen next to it.
I know.
You're looking at
bus.
that.
Oh, I was looking at that for
Volkswagen
sure.
bus is big money stuff, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's keep moving here into other pictures. I hope there's a bunch more.
Ooh, factory Ford bedliner, plastic bedliner.
You know how I feel about the plastic bed
I
liners. That is
do.
like the hidden gem because usually the bed is not fuckery if someone's got a plastic bed liner in it.
Yep.
Which is makes me happy. Bumper's not bad in the rear. It still is OG. Tailgate's not even that bad. Just some paint coming off of it. This is a badass truck.
Dude, this is for this price.
This is your good daily, bud.
I know. Yeah, I'm digging it.
This is a cool truck. If you
he's also got a synchro.
those are big money, aren't they?
Oh,
some of the and the Westphalias were big money.
Huge money.
Okay.
A Westphalia synchro is like 100,000.
What's a synchro thing? Is that the extended top?
No, that's a 4-wheel drive.
Got it.
Vanagon.
Got it. We're looking at so if you're not watching this, we're looking at a picture of this Ranger, and in the back you see a Volkswagen. This guy's got everything. He's got Volkswagens, a Ford Ranger, and then a newer Tacoma in the back.
Yeah.
So he's got like a mixture of everything, and John just goes right to the Volkswagen, just like moth to a flame, people. I know. This is a cool little truck for $3,800.
Yeah. You know,
if you have a teenage son or daughter, not to think, and you need a rig that if they were to put it around a power pole, this would be it.
Totally.
Or in a ditch. That's what I think. Like, I want something my kids can drive, and if something happens because they're new drivers, this is the vehicle. Like, you're not gonna die in it. Really, it's structurally it's better than a Honda Civic or something like that. That's actually, I actually would go buy that. I don't know why. That'd be a cool truck.
Either. It'd be a cool one.
Right,
yeah.
You just like drive it, and then you're like, oh, the tranny went out, and like, I'll get to it someday.
That's how you end up with like way too many cars sitting out back.
That thing straight axled on like a 36 or a 37.
I'd keep it beams.
I don't know. I love straight axle stuff.
Beam team.
Dana 44 in the front.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. That'd be very cool too.
But see, the back seat were like it just was for storage. You could barely get a big dog in the back in those things.
Yeah, I love the little jump seats.
Kenny said he had one, a later one, like the late 90s one, and he told me a story where he got 4 people in the jump seat because is an extended cab, and they put, what did he say? They hauled a trailer with dirt bikes and 4-wheelers and dirt bike, and then 2 other dirt bikes in the bed of it, and would travel all the way to the dunes and stuff with it. And I'm like, how in the hell? It was a 4-liter. And I'm like, he's like, dude, it ripped on 35s.
I bet the transmission was just like
the tranny's probably shifting up and down 24/7.
Just hot.
Yeah. It was starting to it was like molten lava going through the cooler lines.
Yeah, you set anything on the trans tunnel, like if you had chocolate on the trans tunnel, it's just melted.
And knowing Kenny, it was just like the little skinny pedal was to the sheet metal.
Yeah. Who cares?
Who cares? But look cool doing it.
Oh man, that's funny.
Well, this is a decent episode.
Yeah, it's fun. I like answering or like, you know, being able to go over like submitted questions and comments and whatnot. I think
we love other people's opinions and stuff like that or questions. And like we said, I don't claim to be an expert. John doesn't either. This is our experiences, what we've done. We may be wrong here and there. And so
we definitely are wrong here and there.
So don't take what we say with 100%, you know, like we're the authority. We never claim to be. We just kind of have a good time working around these trucks and other vehicles. I mean, the Audi thing was interesting to me, by the way. We've known each other quite a long time, right?
Oh yeah.
So I've been in that car and all that shit. But what's cool to me is I didn't know first thing. I didn't realize you swapped it.
What?
I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know you swapped it. Now I learned that today. And you're like, oh yeah, it's all plug-in. Like I did this and this. And I'm like, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It's pretty fun.
That's pretty cool. So I mean, that's one of the best things I love about this podcast, just bullshitting about stuff like that and then going, like an aha moment, like, are you fucking serious? Really? You know? And then we stumble upon a 92 Ford Ranger that, you know, one of us should own.
Dude, I love that era Ford Ranger.
I did too. Hey Trent, you got rid of your Land Cruiser, got you a Ford Ranger, enjoy.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I would not. That wouldn't fly.
That thing would look so sick lifted. Even on 35s, it looks sick.
Yeah. I mean, I like it stock.
I think everything needs to be some kind of modified. I think it needs 35. Anyway, moving on.
Moving forward.
All right. Till next time, John.
Yeah, till next time.
Oh, and by the way, don't forget about our truck show, the No BS Truck Show. We have the largest OBS only truck show in all the world, I'm going to say.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
For sure.
And John is always a part of it. Obviously, I'm a part of it where we put it on. And like I said, this year we're giving away a truck. all you do is you show up to the truck show. There's no other entry. And Lisa actually has an app already built that you just sign in with your phone and you're entered to win a free truck with 33,000 miles on it.
Not bad.
No, where else do you go to a truck show or any kind of car show and win and have a chance to win a truck with just your entry of coming into the show?
Yeah, you just have to be there.
Yeah, all you do is pay for parking.
So if somebody shows up and they have like 3 kids that all have smartphones,
they have 3 chances to win.
Plus the 2 parents.
5
chances.
5 chances. Oh, sorry. I missed that one. Yes, got it. 100%.
I'm just curious, you know?
Yeah, so it's an app because we were like, how do we do this? That we were first going to raffle it off. And then I'm like, no, dude, I don't want to make it so you have to pay to enter to win a truck.
Right.
I want
full blown.
I have
like,
always
this is giving it away.
I want to do it for our 5th year, but we missed that opportunity. And then this truck came to the shop. This guy wanted to sell it to me. We bought it. And I'm like, what are we going to do with it? We were going to make it 4-wheel drive and blah, blah, blah. The thing is so mint condition. It's the cool factor of how straight the bed is, the interior. It looks like it just came off the assembly line in so many ways.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, dude, let's just give this away at the truck show.
Yeah, why not?
I know. So I just think it's something that I feel like would be cool to give back and have people come to the show, and something that'd be, a positive, and you don't really pay money for it in the sense of all you do is pay for your parking to get in. And
is it going to be like pretty, I don't know, like if somebody won it and had to drive back to Washington or California or something, or Midwest, like, do they need to take it and have an oil change done, or will it be like,
I'm going to put a set of new tires on it because, okay, this is how OG this is. It has the original tires on it.
Okay.
The date code and everything. So I'm like, all right, let's do that. And I think the belt was squeaking a little bit. I just put a battery in it. We'll do an oil change to it. I'm not going to go through this thing.
Like, there's no guarantees, obviously.
Right.
But
it's been
likely you could hop in it after you win it and drive it to wherever.
I can't guarantee that you're not going to have it's, how old's that truck? I think it's a 97. So
that's 28 years old.
Yeah, so 20-year-old vehicle has been sitting in a guy's shop. He drives it. He was driving it every once in a while. So I figure like, hey, I can only go so far with it.
Yeah.
We're giving a free truck away. Here's what it is. I'll put new rubber on it, and I think I might put Alcoas on it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I got a set of Alcoas I'm going to donate to the cause. We'll put a set of Alcoas on it and put a set of rubber on it, like new tires.
And not 33-year-old oil. Or 28-year-old oil.
No, we'll probably put some good. The guy maintained it. Like it wasn't like it was like neglected. He kept oil changes on it.
So it's like it's ready to go. You win it, and you should be fine driving it wherever.
I mean, I can't see the future. What if the alternator goes out?
Yeah.
There's
no guarantees.
It's got original water pump, original alternator, original hoses, drive
So
belt.
does my truck.
See, I mean, and you send it. So I mean,
I drive that thing to Mexico tomorrow.
I know you will. That's what I love about you, John. Just send it, but you'll take tools, so it won't break down.
Well, yeah, maybe you should throw one of those Husky toolboxes in the bed of it.
Fire extinguisher, duct tape, Husky box, all the shit we talked about. There you go.
Oh, that's awesome.
And a AAA account just for a month.
Yeah, nice.
So, anyway, check out our truck show. The dates. Ooh, I always forget this one because we always.
It's right around my anniversary. It's the weekend of the 17th.
That's right.
Of August.
And it's at the Brooks Powerland Heritage Park, which if you don't know that, it's a giant museum full of vintage tractors, dozers, fire trucks, semi-trucks, hit and miss engines, old farm equipment.
Steam powered
I think there's 16 different museums. It's in the grass and shade. And by the way, if you have kids, they have a kick-ass, what scale train system is that?
I think is it 8th?
8-scale train system.
Like it's the trains that are on a real track, not like a full-size real track, but like a miniature real track that you like can ride on.
And these guys have like ones that are coal-fired, that are steam-fired, that are electric, or they're diesel. And these guys, it's a whole nother museum, and it's just donations only, and you can go train rides, and
it's not just for kids.
What? It's not just for kids.
I freaking love riding that train.
Exactly. How many miles of track was it? Do you remember?
It's over a mile, I think.
It was something like that, and it goes through a whole park setting that's absolutely beautiful, and it's a legit time. So check it out. It's a 2-day event, Friday, Saturday. Hope you guys can make it.
All right.
John, always a pleasure.
Same to you.
What do you always say? Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Make comments. Good ones.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes,
that'd be great. We're up to like 27 subscribers on there.
Damn, dude, we're getting big here.
We're really getting
Watch out,
big.
Joe Rogan and Sean Ryan.
But yeah, and comments on Spotify emails and Instagram are the best ways, and comments on YouTube actually
Correct.
are really good
Yeah.
ways to get any questions or topic things you want us to go over.
And Instagram, Kenny usually follows up on the questions. So if you have questions on Instagram, if that's easier for you, Mr. Bucket's always on that one. I think Facebook too, question mark?
I don't know if we have a Facebook page.
I don't either. That's how far out of the loop I am with social media stuff, I guess.
That's a really good point.
That's
We
a good
probably
one.
do need a Facebook page.
I guess. Do people even use Facebook anymore?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, definitely for Marketplace.
Yeah.
Anyway, check us out, you guys. We appreciate you if you are a listener. And like I said, thanks, John. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We'll talk to you next time.
Later, guys.